Why do people hate?
Why is hate speech a problem?
Can hate turn into love? There are so many questions on hate.
And it's really heartbreaking to see so much hate around the world.
So let's dive in and talk it through. Hi everyone, welcome to the Noah Science channel. This is Hiromi and Akito. In this episode on social science, we want to pay respect to what's happening in our modern society. There are so many conflicts all around the world.
On a side note, we have another video on social science which you might be interested in, so we'll link that in the description for you. In that video, we talk about what social science is and why we are focusing on that particular type of science.
Getting back to the topic, why does hatred take over all other emotions?
We witness governments and countries fighting against each other and people discriminating against others for their differences. There's a lot of violence and destruction. The more we've spent time researching the psychology of hate and the current social situation, the more we've realized that it's quite serious. Here's what psychology says. Hate is a feeling of intense hostility and aversion, usually deriving from fear, anger, or a sense of injury. It is extreme dislike or disgust. Extreme hatred can inspire violence. Hatred is a feeling everyone has felt and experienced at some point, especially after being betrayed or hurt physically or emotionally by someone. It is normal to have hateful feelings occasionally. However, feeling hatred over a long time and holding on to hate can be detrimental to the mind and body. The emotion of hatred triggers the mind to predict what the person being hated may do as a defense mechanism. This leads to further anxiety, restlessness, obsessive thinking, and paranoia, which affects overall mental health. Hatred negatively impacts the nervous system, immune system, and endocrine system.
Why do we hate?
Is it the lack of the opposite emotions?
Let's look into the duality of opposites.
Much focus has been brought to duality in this world, but we're starting to realize that it's not only limited to the dualities. For example, the identities of gender that are chosen among men and women, the gray zones of justice and injustice, what is positive and negative, and so on. We can see this also with hate and love. Some may say that the opposite of hate is not love, but is rather mental and emotional detachment from what you hate. This is one perspective, and there can be many more. Only in the dualistic state do we live with two opposites within us, that something is either this or that. But this dualistic state is very limiting compared to the infinite possibilities of creation and our complexity of emotions. When you truly do more inner work with honest observation of our thoughts and feelings, we soon discover that all opposites are illusions and are facets of the same oneness.
The other day I was scrolling through our Twitter account and I found this tweet on hate. It said, "If you hate them, just ignore them."
And there are so many little lies, right? That said, ignorance will not solve issues of hate.
Ignorance will only cause more problems for trying to avoid the truths, and it's actually the reason why people also hate. Emotions like hate are not understood in our conscious mind because what's causing you to hate is being ignored.
There's a saying that ignorance is bliss.
But is it really?
It sounds like sarcasm.
Yes, it does. What do you think?
Hate speech is everywhere on social media, and looking at it from a slightly positive perspective, it shows progress in humanity in the sense that free speech is more possible and accepted than ever before.
But the problem is, hate speech is hate speech. It's still negative energy. Have you done hate speech before?
No, I haven't.
But honestly, have you done any hate speech?
I haven't.
I don't think I do hate speech that...
There was another post on Twitter that said, "Hate speech is not free speech. It comes with a cost to real lives. Let's make kindness our default setting." So again, hate speech is the outcome of there being more freedom of speech. It becomes illegal when it's used as a threat leading to violence or discrimination against different races, religions, gender, social status, etc. We won't go into legalities and leave that for the specialists in the field of law. The point here is that, yes, it does come with a cost to real lives. The negative emotional energies put into words have a great impact, whether we realize it or not. And a word on default setting. Putting something in your mind as a default setting might not be of your best interest, since it withdraws our thinking and feeling to be more actively aware of the experiences that we are having. It is one of the toughest things for us to do that the negative aspects must first be fully accepted, forgiven, and seen in context with the whole personality, but they must never be condoned.
So, how do we let go of the emotions of hate?
It is extremely important for anyone who hopes to accomplish in their life as much as possible not to postpone encountering the subconscious, but to face it right now. The unknown part of the personality has tremendous power, and this power lies in its being unaware of it so that only the widespread effects are visible. You see the symptoms and not what causes them. These undercurrents cannot be controlled as long as you are not aware of them. Conflicts will cause disappointment in you and exhaust your soul, creating disharmony and sometimes illness. Any opposing tendencies that clash, including you wanting to do good in one part of your conscious mind and wanting what's false or negative on the other, will above all prevent emotional and spiritual growth for your soul's development towards maturity. People may assume that only their actions count, yet feelings are also actions. Emotions are energy currents in motion, and they have just as tangible consequences. It cannot be urged enough to devote all your attention to the discovery of your subconsciousness. Get to know what's hidden in the depths of your subconscious mind, and make it conscious through meditation and prayer in all your striving.
Can you imagine a world without any hate and wars and any negative emotions?
Well, we're not trying to be hippies here, but I think in the 60s, 70s, people were really strong-willed to talk about peace, and we need to continue doing that.
Deep down, every person wishes and hopes for a brighter future. That is why we motivate ourselves to work hard for a higher purpose. We want to help the world and the people that are evidently destructing ourselves. Although it starts from within each one of us individually, this cannot be done alone. It's natural for humans to coexist and help each other out in our lives, as much as it's in our nature to freely give and receive authentic love. We need to relearn how to be more peaceful and harmonious, rather than being hateful, disturbed, and destructive.
If you are like-minded and feeling the same way, join us.
We want to hear from you and connect.
Here's a powerful quote by Martin Luther King Jr. from A Testament of Hope, The Essential Writings and Speeches. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that.
You can only change hate in a positive way and then let go of it.
We can dissolve hate with love, care, kindness, sympathy, and understanding. Let's talk about love in another episode, because it's another huge topic, and it's something that we can all be thinking and learning more and more throughout our lives. We hope this can inspire and motivate you to take a moment of self-reflection for deeper inner peace.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next episode. Bye!